How are we doing? I hope we all enjoy our weekend. So, real quick, I want to reveal to us guys what I'm currently looking at as the market is about to open. But before I really get started, I want us guys to really have this in back of our mind that whatsoever I'll be sharing with us guys right here is my own personal opinion because trading is a very, very high probability game. So, because I will be showing us some zones where I will be expecting price to react off from does not mean that price must definitely come back to those zones for for reactions, right? It is a pure probability game. That is what I really really want us guys to understand. So real quick, I don't really make this video so long. I just want to make a very very quick and sharp video for us guys so that it won't really take much of our time while watching it, right? So real quick, I'm looking at Europe USD as you can see on my screen. Europe USD right from the daily time frame. Let me quickly show us guys what I'm really anticipating from the daily time frame before I move to the 1 hour time frame, showing us guys the reason why I'm looking for this short position. So Europe USD from the daily time frame, we can see that the market is really really trending bullish. The market is really really trending bullish from the daily time frame, right? From the daily time frame, we are really really trending bullish. And Europe USD, I'm really really expecting a long term buy. So forget about this pullback, but the overall buyers of Europe USD, I will keep reaching this, right? I will really really keep reaching this. The overall buyers on Europe USD is bullish, so we should expect more buys on Europe USD than sells, right? Because that is where the money is really really flowing. So currently the market is in pullback phase. That's we are trying to create a new higher low. So with our understanding of multiple time frame analysis, we understand that price is fractal. That is number one. What you can identify on the higher time frame, you can also identify it on the lower time frame. So as the market is really really contracting from this daily time frame, probably on the 1 hour 4 hours time frame, probably what we will be identifying on the lower time frame is a form of lower lows and lower highs, right? So on the daily time frame right here, let me just quickly make this quick, right? On the daily time frame here, I'm looking to go long off from those demand zones that you can see that are highlighted. And the way you guys know how I trade, I don't only go aggressively, like right. I don't really go aggressively. I always wait for confirmation. So where I'm really anticipating price should sell off from the to sell for mitigation from the daily time frame is all from those demand zone, right? I'm really looking at price to sell to those demand zone, give me my lower time frame confirmation, and then I start looking for buy. I could have probably give us some reasons why I'm looking at those demand zone for mitigation, but that is really really private, right? That is really really private. I'm just gonna share with us guys my point of view and the current areas where I'm looking at price to react off from. So this is where I'm really looking at price should come back right from the daily time frame. So since I'm really expecting price should come back from the daily time frame to this demand zone right here, I can probably be trading the 1 hour and the 4 hours time frame if I see a very very clean trading range. Right, so real quick, let's go to the 1 hours time frame. So because I know that the market is really retracing back from the daily time frame now, I know that probably with the understanding of multiple time frame analysis, we understand that the market will be delivering this perfect order flow of bearish. As you can see on the 1 hours time frame, you can really see how price is really putting on a form of lower lows and lower highs. Right, probably I was able to capitalize on this. That was last week. I was able to capitalize on this sell. It was a very very nice 1 to 5 risk to reward. I probably hit my TP, and I hope to see to really really see this week, really really giving us something very very nice to actually touch, right? Because we always wait for quality setups, right? And we wait for our ideas to really really meet up in order for us to take action. So on Europe USD, right from the 1 hours time frame, just like I showed us from the daily time frame is pulling back. So as you can see on the 1 hours time frame, we are really really delivering this perfect form of lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, and lower highs. So what I'm currently looking at as the market is about to open in a few hours time, I'm looking at the market should really take out this high right here. I'm really looking at price to take out this buy side liquidity that is above these highs. And the reason why I'm really looking at price to take out this buy side liquidity is because number one, we can see that we have this large imbalance that price has not yet been filled, right? And then we have this flip zone. So people call it support turning to resistance, right? We have this flip zone. We can see that we were reacting from this resistance right here. Probably I combine smart money and some a chart pattern, right? It's not like if you have good understanding of what you are doing, you are good to go. You can apply everything that you know on the chart, right? So we have a flip zone right here, support turning to resistance. We have support right here, right? We have support. Then what happened? We had a pullback. Then we took out this uh we took out this support, then this support become a resistance. And the reason why I'm looking at this area for a mitigation is because after we have this flip to the downside, that support turned into a resistance, right? We left this order block right here. We left this, whether whatever you call it, whether order block or supply zone, depending on what you feel like calling it. So we left this supply zone unmitigated, right? We left this supply zone unmitigated, and refining it more on the 15 minutes time frame, we are going to see this area very very nice. And we're going to see some confluences that actually make me to look at this supply zone for targeting. But like, I don't really want to be going detailed on my on my YouTube right here, because this is something private that I should not be you know telling us guys about, right? So probably we can see on the refinement, I'm not gonna say it actually. On the 5 minutes time, on the 15 minutes time frame, we can see we have this last before the down move candle. Number one, we can see we have a capture of liquidity, and we can see, if you really trace my money concept, paying attention to this area right here, you will understand that this area is a very very nice area of targeting, right? It's a very very nice area of targeting because it meets up with a lot of confluences that we personally look out for at areas of supply or demand zone, right? So when looking to align supply or demand zone, I mean, so I'm looking at this supply zone right here to probably hold price for me in order for me to start looking for that confirmation, right? In order for me to start looking for that confirmation, like I've been preaching it. If you have been watching my videos, I don't usually go aggressively. I always wait for confirmation. I always wait for my confirmation. That because that is what actually makes my trading idea a very very sound trading idea. Once I see a confirmation, there is no reason for me to take my short position. But if there's no confirmation, I will just walk out of that trade, right? I will just walk out of the trade till I see a confirmation confirming that you know this bearish continuation is going to start, right? This bearish continuation, that's the new lower low, is ready to start. So I must see that confirmation. So probably if this supply zone right here will not be able to give me that confirmation that I'm actually looking at for, we can see that we have imbalance here, that price left unfilled. And also we can see we have a capture of liquidity. After the capture of liquidity, we can see how price really really move aggressively to the downside, leaving behind this last before the down move candle unmitigated, right? Which is also known as demand zone or supply zone, right? So leaving behind this supply zone unmitigated, like for me right here, I prefer calling it supply zone because it's kind of simple for me to pronounce, right? So we can see we have this supply zone right here unmitigated. So potentially I'm really looking at price should come. If this supply zone right here fails to give me my lower time frame confirmation, I'll be looking forward to this supply zone right here for a mitigation, right? So this is what I'm really really looking at on Europe USD. It's a very very simple and sound trade idea. And probably if the price will give me the opportunity to capitalize on this, probably my first target will be this week low, right? And then my first target area where I really expecting price should reach and even go beyond is this price level right here. This price level, this 10.3667 price level. I'm really looking at price should really really sell down to this area right here, right? So this is my expectation on Europe USD. I'm expecting price to take out this side, mitigate of those supplies on right here, and then I start looking for my lower time frame confirmation to take my action. It's pretty simple like that, right? You can see there's no need to complicate it, right? Like this is how I try my possible best to keep it simple when generating my trading idea. I've already understand, what I'm really looking at. So, you don't need to complicate it. So, real quick, let's move to GBP USD. Let me quickly share with us guys what I'm currently looking at on GBP USD. So on GBP USD, like we all know, those two pairs correlate, right? Europe USD, GBP USD, they correlate. But there are times that sometimes they don't correlate, right? There are times that they don't correlate. There are times that Europe USD will be on buy, GBP USD will be on sell. It happens like that with experience, right? With experience, and if you trade those two pairs specifically, you will come to discover that, right? You will come to discover that there are times that they don't move alike. There are times that they don't move alike. Sometimes GBP USD will move more faster than Europe USD. Sometimes Europe USD will move more faster than GBP USD. It is like that, right? It is like that. So you don't just depend on, because Europe USD, GBP USD they correlate. Then if you are not seeing a very clear range on GBP USD, then you neglect Europe USD. Like sometimes the GBP USD can be crazy and Europe USD can give you a very nice entry, right? Europe USD can give you a very very nice entry. I've seen that, I've experienced it, right? I've really really experienced it because those are my major peers. Those are the major pairs that I pay more attention to actually. Those are the major pairs. So on GBP USD, I'm also looking for short. I'm also looking for short. Though my daily time frames demand zone has really been mitigated, right? So this trade right here is a kind of risky trade, but if my confluence will actually meet up on this trade, I will be willing to take my shot, right? I will be willing to take my shot. So on GBP USD, we can see this is my daily time frame demand zone. Let me quickly show us guys the daily. Let me quickly show us guys the daily. On the weekly time frame, on the daily time frame, I mean to say, sorry, am I bad? On the daily time frame, we can see the market is really trending bullish, and the same thing goes to GBP USD. Like we are very very long on GBP USD also. Remember, like I said, they correlate. So whatever we are seeing on EU probably will be the same. Will be seen on EU, right? On GU, I mean. So like as you can see right here, we have my daily time frame supply demand zone right here, which has been mitigated. But let me quickly show us guys the 4 hours time frame, because on the daily time frame right here, this demand zone right here is not really looking clear, it's just showing weak. So moving down to the daily time frame, we can see that we have a capture of liquidity to the downside. Can we see this? We have a capture of liquidity to the downside. After we capture liquidity to the downside, now let's look at how price really move aggressively to the upside, leaving those imbalance behind, and also engulf this last before the up move candle. So those kind of zones are areas where price used to come back for mitigation. They are area where price used to come back for mitigation likely, and then give us that confirmation that we are looking for. So the reason why I am still looking for a kind of short on GBP USD is because when I this candle right here, this last before the up move candle, which is known as demand zone, has not been really the 50% have not been really mitigated. So let me do the measurement so that we can see the 50% equilibrium have not been yet mitigated. So can we see this? So if you're going to refine this zoom more on the 50% of our fib level, we can see that we still have a long way to go, right? We still have some short-term sell before we start looking for that confirmation. But likely we have the open of this demand zone that has been mitigated. So yeah, it's either two things will happen on GU. Like it's either two things will happen on GU. It's either this supply zone that I'm looking for a short. It's either price will take that supply zone out because we have our H4 time frame demand zone has been mitigated. Is that we see that change of character on this particular time frame, which is the 1 hours time frame, or we should see a mitigation right from this supply zone right here, right from this supply zone right here, right from this supply zone right here, then we start looking for short. But let me like keeping it in mind, we have I was having like two supplies. That was as for last week. I was having like two supply, right? Which is this is the first supply that I'm looking at. We can see it also look perfectly clean for targeting. This is a very fresh supply zone. This is the kind of zones that I basically look out for. Fresh supply zones like this, like supply that is not gonna really stress me, right? Supply zones that are not really going to stress me. Those are the kind of supply that I look out for. So looking at this supply zone right here, we can see that the 50% have not been yet mitigated, neither the open, right? Neither the open, which we can see price as really pulled back. We can see price has really pulled back for mitigation, right? We can see price has really pulled back for mitigation. We came back, we mitigated all these supply zone perfectly. Like we mitigated 50%, and then after the mitigation of that 50%, let me quickly show us guys what I'm seeing on the 5 minutes time frame, because the 1 hours time frame I either look at 15 minutes time frame or 5 minutes time frame break of structure. So looking at the 5 minutes time frame, let me quickly show us guys what I'm currently seeing and what I'm expecting to see. So looking at the 5 minutes time frame, we can see we really buy up to this last before the down move candle. We can see how this 15 minutes time frame refinement supply zone looks very clean, right? We can see they have not even yet touched that supply zone. So it's a very high supply zone that potentially we can put our confidence on, right? So after this mitigation, let me quickly show us guys what was going on in order for me to start looking at this short, right? So when market was really pulling back to create that new lower high on the 1 hours time frame, right? Like I preach this, right? Market is fractal, right? If you understand the fractal of price, you can trade every time frame. It is pretty simple. So we have a higher high, we have a higher low, right? And then we have this high, then we have this low, and then we have high. So probably you guys will be like, did this high close above this previous higher high with the body of the candle? Yes. So let me use the line chart so that we can see. Let me use a line chart so that we can see there was a closure above this previous higher high with the body of the candle. So let me use the line chart so that we can see it more clearer, right? So can we see this? We have a close above this previous higher high with the body of the candle. So this what is a valid higher high that was being formed, and then we have a higher low and we have a higher high. And also looking at my structural confirmation, right? This actually meets up with what I look at for in order for me to confirm a valid structure, right? This actually meets up with my confluence. So this is a valid higher high for me, right? So after we created this higher high, we create a higher low. Then immediately when we mitigated up that H1 supply zone, what did we see? We started seeing a reaction of price, right? We started seeing a reaction of price. We started seeing price breaking from bullish to bearish. This is a simple thing that I do. Like I'm trying to break the way I trade to us guys on this video, right? On this particular market review, I'm trying to break everything that I used to do in this financial market. Every day, if I show up, this is what I used to do all the time. This is what I used to do all the time. Because do you know why? Do you know what, guys? Trading is a repetition of one thing happening over and over again. You just need to master yourself. You know, you just need to master yourself seeing this every day, right? You need to just master yourself seeing this every day. So we have a high, right? We have a low, and then we have a break of structure. And the reason why I am really looking at this sell to hold is because looking at this, we can see we have a dynamic liquidity, right? We have a dynamic liquidity. Some people will call it a trend line, whatever you feel like calling it, right? It depends on you, right? But I call it a dynamic liquidity, keeping it simple, right? We can see this dynamic liquidity. We can really see this clear dynamic liquidity that we can potentially look for price to come for, right? We can see this clear dynamic liquidity. And also looking at the downside right here, we have a form of equal lows, right? We have a form of equal lows right here that potentially price can come back and take out. Remember, liquidity are fuel, right? Market is always attracted to areas of liquidity. So I am really expecting price should come for those liquidity, right? I'm really expecting price should come for those liquidity. And also take out this trend line liquidity that I just finished drawing to us. And then I'm really targeting this week low, right? I'm really targeting this week low. We can see we have a lot of price action imbalance, right? We have a lot of price action imbalance in this price action right here. So I'm really looking at price should come for this week low in order for me to like, you know, I'm looking at price should come for this week low as my area of targeting as well. But probably I'm not just gonna wait till price hits my TP right here, which is this will be my TP. I'm not really gonna wait for price to hit my TP before I start paying myself. It's not all about technical analysis, family. Technical analysis is just a minor thing. It's the most simplest thing to actually identify on your chart. The most major thing, right? The most major thing that you really need to master is when to pay yourself, right? When you pay, the time, like the appropriate time that you need to start paying yourself in the market when you see yourself in blues. That is the most important thing that as a trader you need to have, right? That is the most important thing as a trader you need to have, because you can end up making profit and still give it back to the market if you don't have a good management plan, right? So you need to know when you will be paying yourself in the market. You really need to know when you'll be paying yourself in the market, because most of the time you end up giving back your money to the market. So you really need to have a good management plan, right? So after we had this mitigation, like let's go back to the review, family. Let's go back to the review. So after we had this powerful mitigation, we had a break to the downside, right? We had a break to the downside. After we had a break to the downside, now let's look at what happened here. So I was not really looking at this as for last week because it's already late for me, right? I don't trade in the night, and already it's weekend already. So there was a perfect entry for us here. There was really a perfect entry for us here, right? So with just 5 pips stop loss, right? Just 5 pips stop loss. So probably if we could have capitalized on this trade right here, we'll currently be running over a 1 to 1 ratio reward, I think, right? A 1.65 ratio reward. So, but I did not really capitalize on this. So probably what I'm really waiting for right now, you can see just where I drew this, right? You can see the way I drew this. This is what I'm currently expecting price should do, right? This is what I'm really expecting price should do. I'm expecting now price should close below this previous lower low, right? Close below this previous lower low, and then we see a pullback. And like we know, this market does not move because the market just needs to move. The market move in phases, right? The market move in phases. What did I mean by the market move in phases? If we are on a bearish trend, all demand zones that have not been yet mitigated are what? Areas where they facilitate a pullback for price, right? There are areas where they facilitate a pullback for price to either create a new lower high, or we should see some form of consolidation there in order for price to continue moving with the what order flow of the market, right? So why I like this demand zone right here is because I really want to see price reacting from this demand zone, and then I see a pullback, then we see a continuation to the downside. And like I said to us guys, this is where I'm really looking for my overall TP. But with my management plan, I'll probably be paying myself along the road, right? I'll probably be paying myself along the road. So this is the most simplest idea that I have for the coming week on GBP JPU on GBP USD. So if price will decide to really break this idea, like the market is kind of crazy. Like we are just like observing the masses and doing the opposite, but the market is only the market that has the final say. That is what I want most of the traders to understand. It's only the market that has the final say. I'm not the one that controls this financial market, right? So I am just a technical analyst. I'm just coming to the chart, analyzing the market, and then wait for the market to do its thing, right? Then I wait for the market to just do its thing, because I can't print even one candle. So I always wait for them to do what I'm expecting to do in order for me to take action. But if they did not do it, then fine. I will wait for another trade idea to be developed, right? It's as pretty simple like that. I don't force it, not at all. I don't force it, not at all, family. I don't really force it. Like I said, I don't force it. So if this supply will not be able to hold price, or whatever I just share with us guys will not be able to show up, then I'm really looking at this extreme supply zone right here. I'm really looking at this extreme supply zone for a mitigation. And then once this extreme supply zone has been mitigated, just like what happened right here, just like what happened right here, this is what I will be looking at right here also. It's as simple as this, right? It's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. So I'm not here to give us a very like complicated things. Where I do I even preach my way of generating my trade idea? It's pretty simple, very easy to understand, right? Very easy to understand. So this is what I'm really looking at on GBP USD. Let's really keep eye on this and see what the market will really deliver, right? Once we break this low, I'm looking to short the market from this supply here. I'm really looking to short this market from this supply. So this is what I'm really looking at. This is what I'm really looking at on GBP USD, right? And I really expect this to play out, right? I really expect this to play out, because the probability of it playing out is more higher than it not actually playing out. So let's really keep eye on this. So real quick, let's move to GBP JPY. Let's move to GBP JPY, which I'm gonna really show us guys that will really blow our mind. I mean, GBP USD, GBP JPY. I'm looking at it from the 4 hours time frame. If we watch if you follow me on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll notice that I was able to capitalize on this buy, but I'm really looking to break down that buy. Like I said, I don't want to make this video so long, and I'm already making it so long for us guys, right? I'm making it so long for us guys, which I don't really like that. I also want us guys to get what I'm really looking at for in order for us to also add it to our watch list, and then wait for the probability as playing out, right? And then wait for the probability as the probability will be really playing out. So on GBP JPY, real quick, the overall bias is also bullish. The overall sentiment of this market is also bullish. That's GBP JPY. The overall sentiment is bullish. But looking at the 4 hours time frame standpoint, we can see that as the market was delivering highs and lows and highs and lows and highs and lows and highs, what what did we now notice? Right? We had a shift in structure to the downside. We have a shift to a shift in structure to the downside. So probably this can actually make the daily time frame to start pulling back to form that new higher low, right? This break can actually facilitate that pullback on the daily time frame. So real quick, where as you can see, what is actually even giving me confidence on this trade is I'm seeing harmonic pattern playing out on this particular setup, and this is one of the reasons why I was able to capitalize on this buy. I took my TP at this point right here, at this current price of 182,467. This was where I took my TP at this current price. So let me quickly draw that harmonic drawing. Let me bring that harmonic drawing, harmonic tool, so that we can see how the harmonic pattern looks very clean. So we have our XA, B, C, D, right? So this is a garlic harmonic pattern. This is a very, very clean garlic harmonic pattern, right? Because it's aligning with our fib levels, where we look at, the fib level, the harmonic legs, right? It's aligning with our fib level, which is from X to A to B. We are looking at price to mitigate our fib level of 61.8. So let me quickly show us guys that we're really expecting to see price at 61.8. That's for the B leg, which it's actually mitigated perfectly. So let me bring out my 61.8. Let me bring out my 61.8 so that we can see that, right? We can see that. So can we see this? It's price really, really mitigated perfectly, like really, really perfectly. You can see that 61.8, boom. After we mitigate off the 61.8, we had a major pullback to the downside. Oh my god, my system just went off. Why the major pullback to the downside? Like, sorry family, my system just went off. I don't know what happened, but it's gonna display back. Uh, why the major pullback to the downside? Why the major pullback to the downside, creating that C leg? Why the pullback to the downside, creating that C leg? Oh my god. I'm really, really sorry for this family. Like my system, I don't know what happened. How frustrating right now. Just went off. I've never done this before. Like I've never experienced this. Okay, it is back. It is back. Okay. So sorry for that family. I don't know what happened to this. Don't really know what happened to this. So let's look at it. Let's look at it. Okay, so after the mitigation of that 61.8 fib level, we now decided to create, we can see we created the C leg, which is, you know, the reason why I took that long, right? Because I knew that probably this market can, since we have reacted up from this 61.8, and then we should create this C leg, and probably I can be able to capitalize on this C leg, right? So immediately I saw all my confluences meeting up on this 61.8 C leg that has been formed. I was able to take this back, and then where we look out for short is the 786. So what can we see at the top side, family? What can we see at the top side? We can see price reacting like this. Our D leg is aligning exactly with the 786 of our fib level. Can we see that? And it's also aligning with this very, very clean high probable supply zone that I personally look out for targeting, right? That I personally look out for targeting. So we can see the confluences that I'm actually seeing on GBP JPY. What is really, really giving me the idea, what is giving me the confidence to actually look for this short. And once we will be able to capitalize on this sell, right? Once market give us our confluences and we'll be able to capitalize on this trade, we will be targeting this week low, right? We will be targeting this week low because this is our next targeting, right? This is our next target area because, regardless of the structure, we can see we have lower low, we have higher low, higher high. We break from bullish to bearish, so we now have lower low, and now we are putting on a new lower high. So the expectation is to see price get back here, and then we break, and then we retest, and then we sell down very, very massively. So this is what I'm really, really looking at on GBP JPY. Make sure you look for that confirmation, right? Make sure you look for that confirmation. It is very, very important to always wait for your supply or demand zone to be mitigated, and then wait for that confirmation, right? Because without waiting for that confirmation, like, it's just like you're trading pure structure. There is no any sound idea behind it, right? There is not really any sound trade idea behind it. I don't even say that it doesn't work. It actually works for some others. But what actually gave me more confidence in executing my trade is when I see that confirmation. Like once I see that confirmation, even I take a loss, it doesn't really touch me like the way I try to go aggressively. Like, you know, one thing we should all have as a trader is always do what you find confident doing. Okay, is always do what you find confident doing. Don't do things because others are doing, right? Don't do things because others are doing. Those people that you see them doing is because they find confident doing it, right? So you also you should find what you find confident doing and then keep doing it consistently. That is how trading works, right? Don't try to copy others, copy yourself, right? Do what works for you. That's one of the major things that as a trader we need to really work with. We can have a smart money concept trader, we can have a trend line trader, we can have ICT, we can different type of trading styles, indicators, Fibonacci level, all those confirmations that people use to trade the market, right? Everyone has his own way of trading. So, you don't try to copy others, you just focus on you. And I assure you that once you master your own way of trading, and you back tested it and you know that this strategy right here that I'm trading is giving me a good win rate with a very good risk to reward, I assure you, just master it. You will be profitable. You don't need to be changing strategy to strategy, because jack of all trade is master of none. Jack of all trade, master of none. So you have to master yourself, master the strategy that you trade. It's not all about trading different strategy. You can trade different strategy, and if you don't master your psychology, if you don't master the art of trading, I assure you, you keep blowing up your accounts and you will keep finding it difficult to even generate your own trade idea. You will find it difficult to believe in your own trade idea because the main thing you're supposed to be solving, you are not solving it. You are thinking it's all about strategy. Meanwhile, it's not strategy. It is you versus you. You need to work on yourself. So here is what I'm currently looking at for the coming week, and I believe that this trade idea are really sound trade idea to me. And if you really find them valuable, um, kindly add them to your watch list, right? Kindly add them to your watch list, and then let's keep eye on those pairs and see what the market will do, right? Like I said from the beginning, whatsoever I'm showing those guys here is a pure probability game. I also am observing the masses and do the opposite. But what give me the 95 confidence that those ideas can deliver to me? Number one is my trading strategy, and number two, the confidence I actually have. Right, that's just number one, like my trading strategy, because I did not just show up and started highlighting all those supply and demands. Right, it is my way of trading that actually allows me to identify all those zones and also allow me to have confidence in waiting for those zones to be expected in order for me to start taking action. So it's as simple as that. You can also do that, right? So let's go, family. I wish us all a profitable week. And if you guys love what I'm doing on this channel, I really want you guys to really subscribe to my YouTube channel, right? I really want you guys to do that for me. And I want you guys to also drop your comments, drop your own opinion on my YouTube channel, maybe what you want me to actually be doing and the rest. Any content that you want me to be sharing with you guys, you can actually drop it on the comment box, and make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell so that weekly Sundays like this, whenever I drop my weekly review, you'll be able to notify. And I don't only share trade idea. You can see I'm sharing some tips on how trading really work. Like I don't just come show us guys, okay, buy here, sell here. No, you have to know the psychology behind all those ideas, right? You have to know the psychology behind it. So I think this is one of the most things that most traders don't do. Right? They just come into the chart and then they say, okay, let's buy here, sell here, buy at this supply zone, sell at this supply zone. Once price gets here, no, like I'm showing you guys where I'm looking at to anticipate price to get to, and I'm still telling those guys the psychology behind it. That is one of the most important thing that all of us need to have.